need you to clap your hands wherever you are. If you know that you're a conqueror, I want you to say this with me. I am a conqueror. I walk by faith and not by sight. Deep within me, I strive to do right. I'm not ashamed.
Welcome everyone, welcome to the Reflection Show. Thank you so much for tuning in right here, right now. I'm your host, Ramsey Rizard, and I'm so excited because it's another opportunity to speak life into you, wherever you are. And you know, as the Reflection Show, you never go to the mirror scripted, you always go unscripted. And today I have an unscripted story that's coming from the one and only Joshua Soto!
This is definitely different.
Josh, how you doing, man?
I'm good. Just living life.
I'm so excited to have you on the show. I mean, you have a story. You've been through so much in the last 6 years. Share with us your story. Tell me who you are, where you're from, Josh, and how did you end up where you are today?
Well, I grew up on the south side of Chicago and lived there till I was about 19 years old. Joined the military for 10 years.
Wow, thank you for serving.
Oh, you're welcome. When I got out of the military, I went to college. I got 2 degrees from Full Sail.
Yeah.
And I started off as a graphic designer, and I did some work for another photographer. And I mean, he couldn't pay me for my work, so he gave me a camera.
Wow.
And I just got the lens, got the battery, just started shooting and teaching myself photography. Little did I know, I was actually pretty good at it. I had no idea, but you know, I started to look at my work from a few years back and what my work is now. Now I'm internationally known. I mean,
right.
I'm a media director. I'm a co-host on a radio show. I mean, I do interviews just like we are now.
Right.
I mean, I'm very well known. And
I can tell you well known. I mean, look, you're dressed up, you're ready to roll. I mean, you walked out of that car and I knew that you had something powerful to share with everyone. And I think that's pretty cool, man, that not only that you're international, but someone who couldn't pay you gave you a camera and that led you into your purpose.
Yeah. It's I try to figure it out every now and then, and it's like, now I have a camera. So now, how do I learn how to use this? But then what I found out as years went by is what I was actually doing with the camera. It wasn't the camera, that's the tool. It was me changing people's confidence and showing people what it is that I see in them.
Wow, so you knew the gift that you had from within, and you took that gift and you used the tool that you had to show reflection to others of the greatness that you see within them.
Right, because you know, when I do photography, I often hear, well, I'm insecure about this, insecure about that. So what I do is I say, okay, well, I'm gonna show you how beautiful you are. Big, you know, small, short, tall, it doesn't matter.
Right.
What matters is how you see yourself. So after a photo shoot with me, like I said, I've had clients that have cried right next to me.
Wow.
Because they didn't see themselves how I see them.
Wow. So take me back to, because I want to know the difference between, and I'm pretty sure those who are watching, they want to know the difference between you in the military for X amount of years serving.
Yeah.
And most people go into the military because they say that's their purpose in life. You know, this is all that they see themselves doing. But you served for 10 years, and you still came out trying to identify with who you are. And because of someone giving you a camera because they couldn't pay you, that led you into the purpose. What was your purpose in the military? What led you to the military?
Well, like I said, I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and if anyone knows anything about Chicago, it's probably not a place you want to grow up.
Yeah. Wow.
So I figured, you know, I got to do something different because the path I was going down was not a good one.
Wow. So you use going to the military to help change your direction in life. Wow.
To give me more structure, more discipline.
Keep going.
And I actually excelled quite well in the military.
Yeah.
And after 10 years, my body said, you know, you can't do this no more. So I was like, all right, so what's next? So my father often told me to go to school. Well, I didn't see a purpose in going to school while in the military because I wanted to focus solely on that.
Right.
So then when I got out, I was like, okay, now I have this opportunity to go to school and get degrees because everyone says you need degrees to be anyone. So now I have 2. So then I realized while I was going to school that for graphic design, I like it, but it's not what I was meant to do. So then I went to a different degree, which is digital arts and design. They taught me about photography and things like that. And when I went to school, for a year before, I actually started teaching myself photography. So then when I went to school, I already knew some of what they were trying to teach me.
Wow.
So while I was in photography class, the instructors would say, why are you here? You know everything we're going to teach you. I said, I have to be here, or else you guys will fail me. And, you know, coming to school to fail, it's not a good move.
Not an option.
Yeah, it's not an option. I don't like to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, I've stumbled a few times, but failing, not an option.
Wow.
But I'll always get back up. And if, you know, I figure something out, say, for instance, the military, I would plan to do it for 20 years, but 10 years, my body said it's enough. You know,
Right.
bad knees, torn rotator cuffs, it was enough. It's like, all right, so on to the next thing. What else can I excel at? What else can I be great at? And then came the photography. And within 6 years, I've built quite a reputation for myself.
So what do you feel like in today's world when it comes to, everyone has a camera. I mean, from cell phones to iPhones, right? They feel like they're professionals. You go to weddings, you see people pull out their phones and they're jumping in front of the professional photographer because they consider themselves
It
professional.
happens all the time.
What do you think is the battle in your industry with young photographers and older photographers, or people who are getting into the industry to be professional and what to do? What do you think is the battle between that gap?
Okay, so the way that I seen it is, while I was in school, we
Yeah.
had the young kids. I was in school about age, what, 32, 33?
Yeah.
So we had the young kids who were 19, 20, just came out of high school, you know, and they would always ask, how come you're so good at what you do? What they didn't realize is that I was putting in work aside from school. I would stay up till 6 in the morning educating myself on the classes that I was taking.
Right.
So at that age, I feel that they don't have the intellect to figure out what the value is of learning what you are going to school for.
Right.
They want to go out after school and party and do whatever it is they want to do. And their values are just different. The determination is just different.
So I like what you're saying. The value and determinations are different.
Right.
People don't really value what they have,
Right.
rather than they should really value what they have so that they can make a difference in the lives of others.
Right. And I already knew that because I've already traveled the world. I've been to multiple countries. I've partied. I've done all that already. So
Yeah.
that's what set me apart from them. I'm not that age anymore.
Right.
So now I'm older. You know, I'm a father. I have to do something that makes a difference.
And what is that like, being a father?
Oh, I love my son. My son is the most awesome kid ever.
What do you love about your son?
He's just open, very open, just like me. He'll let you know what it is. He's very honest. Shy at times if he doesn't know you, but once he knows you, I mean, he's a very loving kid. Very loving kid.
And what does he teach you?
Patience. A whole lot of patience. He teaches me a lot of patience. But I look at him and I see myself.
Yeah.
Because when I was his age, I wanted to do all the same things. Just play video games. Because you know, nowadays kids got the tablets, the video games.
Yeah.
That's all he wants to do. So then the other day, he talked to me. He said, Dad, can you teach me how to box? So now I went and got the gear so I could teach my son how to box.
Yeah.
So it's just, I like the fact that he's open with me and wants to know, hey, how do you do this? Or he wants to learn photography. Dad, can you teach me how to take pictures?
Yeah.
Or can you teach me how to box? He looks at me as a role model. So he's one of the main reasons why I do what I do.
So you wake up every day knowing that he's on your mind.
Always.
And you got to get the job done.
Yeah.
So what is the struggle that photographers or videographers deal with in your industry when it comes to clients, customers, bookings, or even taking that most important shot for their client?
I would have to say, like you said, everyone has a cell phone. Everyone thinks they're a photographer.
Right.
That's the hard part about the industry today. Because everyone feels, I have a camera, I can do what you do. And in fact, they can't.
Right.
Because, for instance, in photography, there's something called the rule of thirds. People normally, when they take pictures, you see it on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. They put the subject right in the middle. That's the first photography no-no, unless it's intentional. But you have to know the rules in order to break them.
You have to know the rules in order to break them.
Yeah.
Wow, I like that.
There are rules of photography, and these people, they don't know the rules to photography. So they think, I got a camera, I'm a photographer. No, you're not. Do you know what exposure is? Do you know what ISO is? Do you know all the proper terms? They have no idea how to use the phone that they have. Honestly.
Especially the iPhone. I mean, everybody keep upgrading to from the 6, 7, 8, 9, the X, and they still don't know how to operate with the 7.
Now, I'll give you a funny story. A mutual friend of ours, Mimi Mala. When I first met her, I took a picture of her and Prince of the South with the cell phone.
Right.
And they said, "How did you do that?" Well, I know what I'm doing. This is my profession.
Right.
It's not the camera that makes the photographer. It's what the person sees. It's the eye.
So, it's not the what?
The camera that makes the photographer.
It's not the camera that makes the photographer. It's the person who's holding the phone
Yep.
that makes what they cannot see.
Yes. See, and that's what photography is. It helps people see things in a different way.
How can that be a life lesson?
Well,
Because I like that. I like that. How would you break that down in a life lesson for those who are watching right now that could be saying, man, I needed that word. I needed that advice that you're sharing, because I think in every industry there is a lesson, right? I posted the other day, every stage of life comes with a lesson, and we have to posture ourselves as students because learning is always in session. So how would you break that down for what you just said to those who are watching that could help?
I mean,
Change.
Think about life as a camera. That is the tool. This is your chance to make a difference. So when you go to take a picture, compare it to your life. If your life is out of focus, what do? You adjust the lens.
Wait, tell that person again. If your life is what?
If your life is out of focus,
you what?
adjust the lens.
You adjust the lens.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So, I mean, that's how I look at it.
Yeah.
If your life is out of focus, adjust the lens. Change your values. See how you can better not only your life, but someone else's, so that way you leave a legacy when you're gone.
Right.
It's all about how you're going to be remembered when you pass. A lot of people don't like to talk about death.
Right.
But if you focus on that, it'll teach you how to live.
Yeah.
Because some people just wake up just to wake up. Some
That's
people
true.
don't wake up to make a difference.
Why do you think some people wake up just to wake up without understanding that they have the power to make a difference? Why do you think that happens?
The only way that I can relate to that is I used to be that person.
Yeah.
I used to wake up just to wake up and just live my life on a day-to-day basis.
Would you think that's depression, or if there was a name you could put on it, what would you call that? Cycle?
No, I wouldn't call it depression. It's just not knowing what your purpose is. Because if you wake up every day and not know your purpose, you're not going to have anything to look forward to.
Yeah.
So, for instance, my purpose, every day I wake up, I love photography. I love to shoot. Every day I wake up and I shoot something. Not only to better my craft, but also have the people that follow me on Instagram, social media, they can see the progression.
And you know what? That's what I think, man. I think a lot of people use this word so loosely, depression, because they don't get up and do something. You gotta get up and do something that, even though if you don't know what it is, go outside, take a walk, go fix yourself a glass of water. Do something that will get you to produce something. You know, that's what I believe that most people should do, because you said something so key. When you wake up, you go take a shot of something. You make sure you get a shot, whether it's the trees, whether it's your couch.
Yeah.
But you use that to perfect your craft.
Right.
And that's what this generation, and that's what some people don't understand. You have to do something in order to get something, in order to produce something that can get you out of something.
Right, exactly. And I mean, I see it, the people in this generation now, they're just lazy. They want everything handed to them. They feel entitled.
Yeah.
For instance, I do teach other people photography.
Yeah.
But they just started. They're amateurs. I'm a professional. But they see my life and think that it came so easy. They didn't see the 6 years of struggle.
They didn't see it.
They're like, okay, so you're a photographer. I'm a photographer. How come my life isn't like your life? Well, what you don't realize is that I went to school for this. I taught myself this.
Right.
I stayed up late nights educating myself.
Yeah.
Teaching myself not only the camera, but things about art and creating, how to be creative. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not just holding a camera and pressing the shutter button. That's the easiest thing to do.
And networking is the key, of course.
Oh yes, definitely.
How often do you network?
Every day. Every day people are, sending me messages in my social media, asking me what my schedule's like. Well, before, I used to be happy when I got clients. Now I'm getting too many, and now I have to see who's worth my time. Because when I first started, I didn't value my time. I was very generous.
Wow.
Now,
You have to value your time.
I know my worth.
Mm.
So I value my time, and you will pay for my time.
And you will pay for your time.
Right.
And not only for the gift,
Right.
but for your time, because that's valuable.
For instance, if I took a picture of you and you loved that picture, it was the $1 million shot, and I took it and I threw it away. And you say, well, can I have it? And I said, yes, $60,000 for this picture. You're gonna be like, $60,000, why? You just took the picture. I said, yeah, but it took me 6 years to figure out how to take that picture. Similar to Picasso's story, when he used to sit in the cafe and he would draw on a napkin. He threw away the napkin, and the lady wanted the napkin. She asked him for the napkin. He said, it's $60,000. She said, but why? You just doodled on a napkin. He said, it took my entire life to learn how to doodle like that on a napkin.
I like that concept, because that's true.
It is very true.
It's not the moment that you're paying for. It's the process that it took the individual to perform or to even produce what that person sees that comes out of you.
Yeah.
That's powerful.
Very. And I just read that the other day. I was like, yeah, that makes total sense to me. Total sense. So I was looking at it the wrong way when I first started.
Yeah.
I didn't see the worth in what I was doing. I was building people's confidence and showing them what I see.
Right.
But being that I was insecure about my craft at the time, I would do things for free. But then I started to realize, hey, this is getting me somewhere. Now I'm on interviews.
Wow.
I'm multi-published in international magazines. I mean, this is something. Like,
Right.
So I'm gonna stick with it, and I did. And trust me, there's times where I wanted to give up. Many times where I wanted to give up.
What made you want to keep going?
Because I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
And I use my photography to express myself. But I'm not done expressing myself yet. And
There's still a lot more stories and a lot more visions that you have that you want to continue to put out there.
Yes. And I'm actually getting into doing film now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, I concentrate on one aspect. Once I see that that's, not as exciting as it used to be,
Yeah.
I'll concentrate on another one. And then what I'll do is I'll put them together.
Right.
So what I did with that is I went to school for photography and film. And I don't know if you've ever seen my work, but some of my work moves. It's a still image.
Yeah, I've seen it.
But it moves. And people are like, that's cool.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. I took a still image, did some cool effects, and now the image is still, and then the background moves.
That's pretty dope, because with technology that we have today, people are always looking for something different now.
Right.
And you have to think outside just the average mind to really create something.
You have to.
But you realize though that it's possible. It can happen. If you're not doing something different, then you'll always get the same result as everybody else. But if you do something different, you'll get a different result than everybody else, and that's pretty dope. Josh, there was someone on the other side of that mirror, and they're saying, Josh, I'm stuck. I need to find my purpose, or I'm afraid to pick up the camera and to go do what you do. There's not enough people out there for me. That industry is saturated. What advice could you share to help them reflect
Honestly,
on who they are?
Everything you just said, I used to have those same doubts. Everything you just said, I used to think the same exact way.
Wow.
Well, what got me out of that was I was thinking, okay, you're a photographer. This is Orlando, everybody's a photographer. How are you different? What makes you different? What is your niche? So I thought to myself, do I want to do weddings? Do I want to do baby maternity photo shoots? I said, no, I don't want to do that, because everyone does that.
Right.
So how are you going to find what makes you different? And I did. I started adding motion to my photos. But the thing is to keep going, to not give up, and you just pick up the camera and shoot. It's all you got to do. Whether you know what you're doing or not, just pick up the camera and shoot. Every day.
Every day.
Every day. No matter what it is. You can take a picture of a ladybug, a bird, anything. The key is to just pick up and shoot. You'll learn. Trust me, you'll learn, and you'll see your mistakes. And I used to go on YouTube and a bunch of other platforms because other people have had the same questions that I wanted to know.
Right. And what about for those who's not a photographer, who's not a videographer? What could they say to themselves to be better in life and to make a difference?
Well, like I said earlier, if you feel that your life is blurry, change the lens. If you don't like what's on the TV, change the channel. It's up to you to make that decision. So, one thing I can say is, don't be afraid to shine. The sun doesn't care who it blinds, and neither should they.
The sun doesn't care who it's blind. The sun doesn't care what?
Who it blinds.
Who it blinds.
And neither should you.
And neither should you.
Just shine.
Because the sun still has an assignment.
Yeah.
And you still have an assignment.
Yeah.
Wow. Guys, this is Joshua Soto on The Reflection Show. As you always know, I bring to you stories that will change your life. Because it's all about impacting influence and inspiring others using our platform. And you're watching right here, right now, The Reflection Show, which is a platform that is dedicated to changing your life. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Ramsey Rizard on The Reflection Show. And as I always say, your experience matters.